your home and loan girl, CEO and founder of Passion and Purpose Realty Group.
And I'm LaShonda, the luxury home real estate agent, brokered by eXp Realty, and owner of the Empire Realty Group.
And we are Sisters in Real Estate. Hey,
y'all, we're here. We're back with another episode of Sisters in Real Estate. I'm LaShonda, the realtor.
And I am Nikita Jacobs, your home and loan girl, and we are Sisters in Real Estate. Listen, we're doing something different today, honey. We're doing something different. We want to bring something different to the table for this episode. We're just talking. We're just having a conversation basically for this
girl chat. We're gonna do some girl talk.
Girl talk.
What song was in my head just a minute ago?
What?
Just one of them days when I wanna be all alone. Just one of them days.
That's such an old soul, okay?
I gotta be all alone. It's just one of them days. Don't take it personal. That was in my head, so I just had to get it out.
You had to go ahead and let that out. Okay, I'm glad that you can set yourself free. Sing the whole song. This is what we're doing this episode. We're gonna sing the whole.
I wanna take some time. No, I'm just playing.
Woo! Okay, maybe we should go ahead and get something else for this episode.
Look, it was in my head. Like, okay, today just one of them days.
Yes,
and that song just popped in my head. But yeah, like.
It is one of them days.
Freestyle, like let's get some stuff off our chest. Let's woosah.
Yes, let's woosah and get some stuff off our chest today. Because
to be honest, it's not all like this platform for us is not really wasn't meant to just be all about real estate. Like we're sisters. And we're in real estate, like our business is in real estate. But the point of this podcast is to bring awareness to a lot of different genres of things. To be honest, we just happen to be well-versed in the real estate world and we just like to share that information. But today we're going like way off track. We freestyling because when life throws things at us, we have to freestyle. So sometimes things can't be, which we're not real scripted, but we have, of course, our bullet points and things that we want to talk about. Mm-hmm. But in this time, like it's time for us. There's so much going on in the world, so many things happening in our day-to-day lives. And as women, it's time for us to kind of come together and just talk about some things, I love women. That's a given. I love women. I love working with women. I love where we've come from in life to where we are today. Mm-hmm. To me, it's so empowering to be able to do this and to be in this particular era in life where you have a choice to be able to do what you want to do, be who you want to be practically. Now, don't get me wrong. There are obstacles that come our way, you know what I mean? Because it could be because of skin color. It could be because we're women. But those are things that's like things that we do need to kind of talk about in general because life can kind of get hard, you know what I mean? And I decided to take we really kind of just free flowing. This just kind of really just came up in my head, literally. Yeah, but it's perfect timing though, because this is actually the wrap up of Women's Month. So to just talk about it all, to do what we say at the end of all of our podcasts is, empowering each other, evolving, and, just embracing life as women. I was actually, I watched the news for like weather. That's really the only reason I watch it. I don't really care for anything else, but I was told to watch Channel 8 because Channel 8 had a little more flavor on that channel as far as, diversity, I guess you'll say.
Okay.
A little more diversity. So I started watching it and I saw the one of the anchor and host, she's the traffic girl, Tashara Parker. Mm-hmm.
I just love her energy. I love how free she, it feels like she is when she's up there and doing her part. Like, it's like she dresses like she's not like, okay, suit and tie, or like, she like has a nice style. She's really pretty. Like, she is just loving on herself. And I just happened to look at her Facebook and I saw that she's a part of this thing called the Crown Act. So I dug a little deeper, and apparently there's a House bill that they're trying to pass, where it's they're wanting to pass like no more bias or judgment about curly hair in the workplace. How they say dreads and cornrows and all of that, or natural hairstyles is considered not really cream of the crop, I guess you could say, in the workplace. Yep. But this the Crown Act is actually about, I had it pulled up here, but let's see. I had the meaning of the Crown Act, but it's basically it to sum it up, that's what it's about. It's about just being able to, like, accept who we are as women, no matter how our hair looks, take us for, who we are and what we present to you, and don't try to like dumb us down or water us down or tell us, we're doing too much or whatever. So I saw that, and actually ran into, I guess it's Texas State Representative Retta Andrews. She's actually, like, I guess she's over it, or she's the one that's representing in the state at the state level with this act. So that was pretty informative.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty informative. Just some powerful Black women.
That's right.
That are in some high places that I didn't even know, about, and some things I didn't even know was going on. So that kind of got me intrigued. So I'm wanting to hopefully connect with those ladies, because that's important. That impacts me as a Black woman.
It does.
So
it does.
I'll let you guys know how that goes and what else I find out. But
yes, like, please let us know. Let me, for sure, let me know about it, because I think that it's important for one, for us to have representation, but also for us to feel comfortable in where we're at and how we are, what we're doing. One of the things that the reason I kind of went out on my own and decided to leave corporate was because one of the things that they always say, and it's one of them, when people say it, it almost like gives me some sort of trigger. It's like, and it's basically perception is reality.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
When I hear it, it just, why does your perception of me have to be my reality?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, it's kind of like, that's when you kind of care about what other people think. You know what I mean? And in corporate is really big, because if maybe a higher up don't like you, you're not going to be promoted. You know what I mean? They're going to try to stop other people from promoting you, and which is a sad thing, right? So they're always saying like perception is reality, and it's like, no, it's not. And I've had people say that to me, but yet the boss is sleeping with one of his employees, and he think nobody knows about it. But you want to say perception is reality because I did this thing right here, which is nothing compared to what you've done. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's so contradictory, and it's kind of like, why do we have to live and be a part of what people feel like we should conform to? You know what I mean? And that's on a whole deeper level. Like, I shouldn't have to dumb myself down or make you feel comfortable because you are intimidated by me. Or you feel like I think I'm this and that, and that's because that you feel like that's my reality. I'm not nothing like whatever you think I am. And so I think that comes with walking in your power, walking in your truth, knowing who you are, and don't care about what they have to say. Don't conform to what they want you to conform to. And so perception is reality. I just want to dispel that whole thing, because it comes from, to me, it just comes from a place of control. They want to control you, control the way you move, control the way you talk, control the way you act, by giving you something to make you feel intimidated by to do, or you'll miss out on this opportunity. You know what I mean? And it's like, no,
Yeah.
gotta know who your God is and what He has for you. You know,
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of people try to stop what God has for me, and it still went through with literally nothing they could do. They tried their best, okay?
Mhm. They
And
will. They'll hurt themselves to try and hurt
listen,
you.
really trying to outdo God. I'm like, baby, you
Yeah.
try, okay? And if it happens and it works, that means it wasn't for me. But
Hmm.
if God wants this thing for me, just know it's gonna be for me. It's not for you, you know. And you can try to block it. You can try to go around it. You can
Hmm.
try to, you know, talk about me, say these negative things about me. But the truth of the matter is, it's not going to work because God has already got it in control. He's already made that my destiny. So there's nothing you can do about it. But people really do think they have a lot of control over what you can do, you know, and what God has for you, which is really sad. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's huge, and I that's part of the reason I left corporate America.
Mhm.
Was because I didn't agree, and I didn't like the you can't move up until the next person moves up, like the person that's above you, or you know, your superior, like that. No, grade me on my merit, grade me on the work that I do. I never liked that, but you know, sometimes you just don't have a choice. You got to work with the cards that are dealt to you. But at the same time, you also have to prepare. You have to plan. You have to have goals that you're trying to attain, or you will kind of be stuck there, to have to deal with stuff like that. And I'm thankful that God has blessed me to be able to make a decision to say, okay, I'm not going to stay in corporate America. I'm going to go to school, get my real estate license, and I'm going to do it at this time. And I did it. And I haven't looked back since. I've been in real estate almost 5 years now. And I have not worked I haven't worked a part time, anything, because God has blessed me to be able to fulfill the plans that I had for myself. And of course, you know, being obedient and all that good stuff, working hard has a lot to do with it. Nothing comes to a sleeper. Like, you can't expect to win or to get things to come to you just because you want it. You have to work hard for stuff. And a lot of people fail to realize that. They think, oh, well, why does this person have this? Or why does this person have that? And I don't have it.
Right.
You don't know what that person went through to get to where they are. What did you do to set yourself up for success? Because they probably went through hell and back to get to where they at. But a lot of people don't understand that our stories and our, you know, timelines are not supposed to be in sync. We
No.
all are just individual people. That's why we come here alone, we leave here alone. Like, we're not meant to be like, oh, well, she got it, I mean, I can get it. Well, no, not necessarily.
Right. Right. No, and that's very true. Like when you hit on a great point when you're saying everybody's journey is different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we kind of like to look at, don't get me wrong, you can draw inspiration from certain people if you feel like it. But your journey will not be the same journey as that person who is successful. Your path will not be the same twists and turns as theirs. So it's kind of like you have to just know where you're heading and you need to, you know, kind of go by that way. And you don't get me wrong, you can also look at, you know, like in real estate, we like to look at, you know, kind of where other people are in a sense where we can draw some sort of, you know, inspiration, or we can learn things from. You can learn things from people, but what you don't want to do is wallow in the fact that they're ahead of you and you are not where they are right now, where you wish you want to be. But it's like, just because your timing is everything. And I say this very loudly because when it's God's timing, it will happen. When
That's right.
it's a process. You know, some people don't get the opportunity to be that quick, hey, I'm about to make all this money. You know, my journey was different from yours. You know, I left corporate America, I went out, then I tried to do a part-time thing that didn't work. You know, so it's kind of like you have to do what you feel like you have to do. It's your journey, your path to go and seek where it is that you're trying to go. And so you cannot compare your journeys to somebody else's journey. You can't compare where you're at compared to where somebody else is at, but you can gain knowledge and understanding and things of that nature to kind of make your road a little bit easier if possible, you know.
but you don't know what people go through, like you said, what they went through to get where they are. You don't know their story to know that they didn't even have parents and they were orphans. You
Mm,
don't know these things, because people don't have to share all that stuff with you.
yeah.
That's their life and that's their business. So I think when we kind of look at things in a different way, like I give you an example. I had the home buyers seminar this past weekend, and we can't control certain things, right? And sometimes we need to be okay with not being in control of
Hmm.
every single thing. When things happen and it doesn't happen the way that we want it to go, okay, God, we're gonna just go with this flow right now, because there's nothing I can do about this happening or that happening or this person not showing up or that person not showing up. I have to just be like, okay, we're gonna go with the flow and we're gonna work through this, and maybe next time we can learn from what we didn't do and not, take it into that. But a lot of times we like to get distraught over, one little thing that goes wrong. It's like, no, I'm gonna stay the same. And so when I left that day, I said, well, God, whatever happens in this today happens this day. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me down. I don't want to get down about it. I don't want to overthink it. I just want to be able to lay my hair down, think, enjoy myself. And however you see this day, you see this day go,
Yeah.
I'm
I
okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
okay with it.
Yeah.
So
That's good, because what's for you is for you, and nothing and nobody can change that.
mhm,
If God said today I'm gonna send 50 people your way to come and get a home loan, okay, then that's what's gonna happen. But if today he's saying, you need to do this, you need to study, you need to do some self-development, then you might not get 50 people coming to try and buy a house, or
absolutely,
might sell a house or whatever.
absolutely,
You never know what might happen. So
absolutely.
I just learned to be patient. It's definitely not an easy task or easy characteristic to be patient, especially when you are self-employed and you're no longer at corporate America where you get paid whether you finish the task or not. As long as you hit the punch clock,
You
like,
good.
right, you good. But and when you're self-employed, it's like,
You're
if I
fine.
don't work, I don't eat. Like, I gotta make it happen.
The Bible say you don't work, you don't eat. You know what I mean? So that's just what it is. You don't work, you don't eat. But you got a point there.
So I'm good with, however things unfold. And of course, there are times where you might get, a little discouraged. You're like, Lord, I don't know, but you just go and talk to him like, God, I don't know what's going on, but I trust you. But that doesn't mean that you're not gonna have concerns or whatever. Just don't lose faith and just don't give up. It can still work, and it will still work in your favor, but it'll be in God's timing according to his plan, not according to your plan. You might want to be a millionaire tomorrow. You might want to hit the lottery tomorrow, but that doesn't mean that you will. But,
Right.
as long as I say, keep God first, have faith, and do right by people. I don't see how you can lose in that situation.
And one more thing about, and this is I don't even really know. I'm not even like a baseball, fanatic, but this analogy kind of came up in my head. But you know how the pitcher throws a curveball.
Mm-hmm.
Now the curveball usually still lands in the catcher's mitt,
That's right.
and he usually can strike it. It's still a good ball. But
Mm-hmm.
what happens when we go to that curve, when we get a curveball, we're about to fall apart because it's a
Yeah.
little curveball. But when we just hold it together, it's going to fall right into place like it's supposed to fall into place. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And
Yep.
so when we start to think about that, it kind of makes you think differently about anything that you kind of go through. We know that obstacles come our way, but how we handle our obstacles, how we go through those obstacles are key. Falling apart every time an obstacle is sent your way is something you have to kind of deal with. That's where you probably need some therapy to help you cope, give you
Yeah.
some techniques and things of that nature. But if you have, a good handle on being able to handle obstacles coming your way, you'll be okay. So
Yeah.
just all these things are super important. And we were talking about the whole women month, and just thankful for all the women that did pave the way for us to be able to have a voice today and to be able to do the things that we're doing today. The world looks a lot different than it did, before, and so although it's some things that you don't like, but I am grateful for that part, the part where I have that choice and I can do the work that I love, and I don't have to feel like I'm not, I don't have a voice and I'm not considered. You know what I mean? So
Right. Yeah, no, that's important. That's important. It definitely does look different. And I'm so glad and thankful. God knew not to send my soul out back in the day because, baby.
Right.
So I'm thankful for what I do have, where I am in life. And I look forward to, what's to come, what God has in store for me. I know it's not always going to be good,
Right.
so I do prepare myself mentally because it is a mindset. It's a mindset shift
It is.
you have to do on yourself in order to be able to go through that adversity, the trials and tribulations, the curveballs. Put
And
it
I'm not saying they're not gonna knock you out.
right,
Don't
exactly,
get me wrong. Don't say, "Oh, I got to be perfect in this situation."
right.
No, it will. Sometimes it will knock you down to your knees, but you got to get back up. You know what I mean? You
Mm-hmm.
can't stay down there. And if you do, just stay for a second and get back up. But yeah,
You
so
got to reevaluate some things sometimes. Sometimes that means releasing some things, whether that's
yes,
material, monetary, family, friends,
yes,
business partners. Sometimes you have to shed. Like you can't,
that
if your
did.
hands are full, this is an analogy that I really like. If your hands are full, there's no way you can, take hold or get something else because your hands are full. So you got to let go of something to be able to receive something else.
Come
Um,
on. Mm,
so
mm.
you don't want to be, greedy. I want this, I want this, I want this, and you walking around like this. Okay, now what you gonna use your feet to catch the rest of it, or like you gotta be willing to grow and go through things in order to get to where you're trying to get. Because if you are stagnant where you are and you have this mindset that you've had since you were 16 years old, you can't expect, to go to that next level
Exactly.
because you don't want to grow mentally. Like that's a part of being successful is mentally growing, not just, thinking, oh, my bank account, if I get another raise or whatever. It's not just about that because that next level, you don't have a whole new devil, but that next level is going to require another
You.
version of you.
That's right.
So you can't go,
The
LaShonda
growth part of
from
you.
middle school because
It's
that
the
kid,
mindset.
I was different.
Right.
So you got to be willing to change, and change is not a bad thing. A lot of people think this is how I always been. This is how I always been. I've been like this all my life. Love me or hate me.
It
Um,
just makes me sad when people say that. I'm
I'm
like,
like, you've been like this all your life, and you 35 or 40 and 50, like, and you're okay with that? I mean, if
right.
it's working for you, then fine. But if you're over here complaining or in a moment of despair, then you have to be able to, internalize like, okay, where do I need to adjust? What do I need to do? And be mature enough to be able to accept whatever that criticism is, because constructive criticism is it's like you need it. You
You
need
need
it to grow. And it's not, a lot of people look at constructive criticism as a negative thing. Like, oh, you always saying this, or oh, you think the worst of me, or you think I'm not this. It's not that. If somebody loves you, they're going to be honest with you. Now, if you got somebody that's just bad talk, everything they say is just negative, that's different. But for somebody that truly loves you and cares about you, they're not just going to sit back and say yes, yes, yes to everything. They're going to point out and tell you when you're wrong, what you could work on. And it should come from a loving place, not a place of, nagging, down talking, or, trying to make you feel bad. I really wish a lot of people would really understand that.
one thing that I don't want to forget to say, when you do tell them these things, they like to go to social media to get validation from likes and comments on things that, people don't really know you on social media. The
Mhm,
ones that know you are the ones that can kind of really tell you
mhm.
more about that constructive criticism. You just say a blurb out there, somebody can resonate with it and they like, yeah, next thing you know, you think you got validation and people are agreeing
Right.
with you. But truthfully be told, they don't even know you. They don't know nothing about you and everything that we know, that we know about you. So it's kind of like
Right.
you can't take to social media and get validation. Like that's one thing about it. In our business, we have to be in social media, but social media does not validate us.
Right.
We're not looking for social media for likes. This is a business. We have businesses that we have to grow. But if you are just in your personal life, in your life in general, and you're looking for somebody to validate you in a sense of when you're doing things that you could do better in, and you
Mhm.
post and you be like, oh, this and that, and then you got all these people agreeing with you, doesn't make it right. It don't
Right.
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 So
Because they're really just like fans. They're really just on the outside looking in. They don't know you like that.
they surface people. They don't know you. So it's
And they
like
don't know the backstory.
they don't know the backstory. And so sometimes I crack up on some of the stuff I be seeing
Like,
because I'm like,
girl. Or
okay.
man, look here, boy.
So
Telling the whole story because that little piece you left out is gonna change the narrative. Okay. You left out a very small but very important piece that makes it all make sense.
yes.
I just don't pray for people like that. Like it's not my place to judge people. I really pray that I never do, judge anybody. But I mean, if you come and ask for my opinion, or if I feel like I'm in a position where I can offer my advice or my opinion, then I'm gonna do it from a loving place. But you may not like it. It may not feel good to you. But I've never been a person to say things to be harmful to people or to bring somebody down. And most of the time, I probably, it'll take me a while to say it because I'm like, how do I say this so that it comes off, the right way and it's received well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm that type of person. I'll take a while to sometimes confrontation or have difficult conversations because I don't want, to offend anybody or hurt their feelings or make them think that, I'm upset or anything. But sometimes it just got to come out, and you can't really control you can't control how they're going to receive it. You can only control what the delivery is, and then it's up to them on how they want to receive it.
Well, I will say, in my years of experience, I have learned now to let people do them. Okay.
Please let them
and that's just kind of what it is at this point. Like, sometimes you can come from a loving place and say all the things that you think is appropriate, but they may not be ready to receive that. And that's okay. So I let them live their life, and hey, you do you. I will love you for who you are, no matter what anyway.
Right.
But I let them learn their way. You know what I mean? And grow their way. And sometimes you telling them certain things probably ain't gonna help them, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, well, God, you however way you need to get through to this person, you get through to this person.
Do it, God.
I don't want no problems. At this point, I let people do them because you can give them all the wonderful advice anyway. You got the people that does the same stuff over and over again and wonder why their life is in the way that it is, and it's because decisions that you're making, but they're not ready to tap into that yet. That's a whole different episode, okay?
I'm big on and again, I'm not perfect, but I'm big on some tough love. I feel like people won't learn if you continue to pacify them or, let them off easily. So sometimes you have to be a little more stern, a little more firm, and just teach them like in your own way, show them like, okay, what you're doing is not okay. Or no, I'm not going to help you with X, Y, and Z, whether that's money, whether that's, being an Uber for them or whatever. Sometimes you just got to say no. I struggled with that for years. Being able to tell people no, I struggled with that. Like, I really felt like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I just said no. Because even if I was in a place where I could and I just said no, it took me years to get there. I really would feel bad and convicted. And I don't know why I would feel convicted because I've never come from a bad place when I would say no. Most of the time it would just be no. I mean, most of the time it would just be yes. But then it's like, you're
getting taken advantage of. One thing they say, I am here to be used. I'm just not here to be misused. Right. Once you start noticing that people are misusing you, taking advantage of who you are, your kindness and things of that nature, then it's time for me to kind of politely
back up
because you're not right. And so I realize that now, because as you get older, you kind of catch on a little faster than you did when you were younger. You let a lot of stuff slide. Now it's like, I'm going to identify that and I'm going to back off because that's not what I'm here for. I'm here for collaborations. I'm here for, helping uplift each other. I'm here for, a reciprocal type of thing. But when it becomes where it's like, oh, it's just a one-sided situation and, no, we're going to have to go ahead and knock that one on out. But you're right. That took years of learning and growing
to get that. I mean, especially with family. Family will guilt trip you until the sun set and rise again.
They will try to have nothing to say about family. Okay, that's
They will make you feel so bad for not saying yes to whatever it is they ask for. And it's just like, really? Like,
listen, you got to cut family off, okay? I'll just be honest with you. Sometimes you have to let family go because just because they don't have your best interest at heart sometimes, and they're the worst people sometimes, and you just give them excuse after, but we family. No, but you trigger me. And so, you know what, with some triggers, I need to let you go and I'm gonna go ahead and back off. So, but we don't like to do that. We will continue to be in those same traumas because they're family. And you know what, I've learned now as I've gotten older, because yes, I've definitely done that. That I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be associated with anything that I feel like is going to put me in a space of bringing me out of my character or, you know, making me feel a certain way. I don't want it, you know, so I let it go. And that's what we got to learn to do.
I've learned hi.
Well, as you can see, my daughter has come in. But Katie, can you go that way for mommy? So, and
hey,
Katie.
Thank you, baby.
I've definitely don't worry, Nevaeh and Taylor have came in already, so
she had just walked through the door. She got dance practice here in a minute. So
but I have learned how to say no and just walk away and be happy, be good with what my decision was. Like the answer is no.
Yeah. And that's what you got. Once you learn how to do that, man, life is so much different. You know what I mean? You have a peace that comes over you that you didn't realize that, okay, it's about you creating your environment. You know what I mean? That you want to be around.
Yeah. I've learned how to feel the energy room. So I now have that, that sense of mine has heightened, where when I walk in a room, I can instantly feel, okay, I don't need to be in this room. Let me move around. Or, you know, and I'll just leave. Like, I don't need any negative energy. I can feel it. Let me go, because that's just not what I'm here for.
Real, like you do. I mean, literally, you got to create the environment that you want to be around. And you have to first be real with yourself. You know what I mean? And realize what's holding you back.
Yeah.
What's hurting you. And so you have to be able to deal with those things. And so once you identify,
they ready to go.
Anyway, so
my daughter has practiced.
This is our cue to wrap it on up, because she
right.
But this was good.
It was good to be like a freestyle. I really hope this helped somebody that, you know, might be going through some of this stuff, and, you know, to be able to overcome it and to, you know, put that energy somewhere else and keep it pushing.
And I would say, you know what, if you are dealing with these things, therapy is important. Also getting some affirmations out there, creating a morning routine for yourself is important. I'm a candle person, so I'm gonna set the candles out. I'm gonna have the affirmations going. I am going to set my environment the way that I need it to go, especially when I'm feeling like things are all over the place and things are chaotic. You know, how can I get things right? You know, so I strongly suggest, I mean, of course, prayer, you know, reading your word, finding go to one of these bookstores and finding a book to kind of read over, you know, workbook or something to help you navigate those conversations. I had a book and it was called The Prayer Map. And so every day you wrote down your prayer and it just helped you map out how to pray.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's really amazing. So, I mean, I just, I encourage you today to do that if you're feeling like this. If this was good for you and this helped you, this is a blessing, because this honestly came up on me at the last minute, like, hey sis, let's freestyle this one and let's see where the conversation takes us.
Yeah. And here we are. So, y'all, thank y'all for always watching. Let us know if any of that resonated with you guys in the comments. We love to hear y'all's feedback on all of our episodes. Our next episode will definitely come with some more knowledge to share with you guys. But remember to empower each other
and embrace your true self
and evolve on your journey. Peace out.